Hello, friends. Welcome back. Sit back and let me tell you a story about friendship, betrayal, and the quiet power of the underdog. It's the story of Karen and Sophie, two women whose bond began in college and ended in a collision of ambition, trust, and cunning. What you're about to hear is a journey of heartbreak, strategy, and ultimately triumph. A story that reminds us how betrayal can either break us or forge us into something unstoppable. Karen and Sophie met in college, two awkward girls thrown together in a journalism class. They bonded over late-night coffee, shared essays, and whispered secrets in dorm rooms that smelled faintly of old books and instant noodles. Sophie was brilliant, magnetic, and fearless. She could make anyone feel important. Karen was quieter, meticulous and thoughtful, the one who noticed every detail, recorded every conversation, and trusted completely. To Karen, Sophie wasn't just a friend. She was family. Their friendship seemed perfect. They celebrated A's on papers, first published articles, and late-night brainstorms that dissolved into laughter. Karen remembered Sophie leaning against the dorm wall on their first night, laughing at her terrible handwriting and whispering, "You and me, we're unstoppable." Karen believed her. But cracks began to appear, subtle at first. Sophie's sharp words when Karen succeeded, fleeting glances of envy when Karen told a story first, and her subtle exclusion from certain meetings weren't coincidences. At first, Karen dismissed it as stress, jealousy, or misperception. She wanted to believe friendship could survive anything. After college, they interned at the same media firm. Sophie convinced Karen to share a small apartment downtown. Karen agreed, sacrificing comfort for companionship, thinking they were building a future together. But the first signs of betrayal emerged quickly. Karen's research, painstakingly done, began showing up in Sophie's drafts. When confronted, Sophie laughed, claiming collaboration. Karen wanted to believe her. She wanted to believe Sophie hadn't betrayed her intentionally. By the time Karen's first major article went live, Sophie had already begun maneuvering behind the scenes. She charmed editors, inserted herself into projects Karen had cultivated for months, and subtly undermined Karen with jokes and reassurances. Karen questioned herself. Was she too sensitive, too naive? But the cracks were growing, and Karen could no longer ignore them. The moment Sophie was promoted over Karen, despite her clear qualifications, was a breaking point. Watching Sophie wave the promotion letter with whispering, "Guess it wasn't meant for you," left Karen shaken. It wasn't jealousy. It was betrayal. The person she trusted most had become the architect of her setbacks. Confrontation yielded only smirks and casual cruelty. Opportunities are for whoever grabs them first. Don't take it personally. Karen left that day with tight chest and blurred vision, a sense of powerless rage she had never felt before. But powerlessness, she decided, was temporary. She began documenting everything. Emails, messages, drafts, timestamps, every slight, every manipulation. The act of organizing evidence brought a strange exhilaration. She wasn't a victim anymore. She was plotting, preparing, waiting for the right moment. Karen's revenge would be precise, subtle, and undeniable. The first opportunity arrived with a high-profile story. Editors sought a team to cover a corporate scandal. Sophie signed up immediately, leaving Karen sidelined. But Karen pivoted, pitching a different angle. Stories of the people affected, raw and overlooked. Editors loved it. Karen assembled a team of interns, poured herself into the work, and built something uniquely hers. It was raw, personal, untouchable. Sophie noticed. She tried to insert herself under the guise of helpful suggestions. Karen ignored them, focused on her story, and the interns began noticing Sophie's manipulations. Karen's meticulous work and integrity shone in contrast to Sophie's shortcuts, charm, and half-truths. By publication, Karen had created ripples that Sophie couldn't touch. For the first time, Karen felt power. The aftermath was intoxicating. Sophie's smirk tightened. She whispered behind Karen's back, made pointed comments, tried subtle digs, all carefully documented by Karen. Karen realized the power of patience. The underdog doesn't rush. She waits. She measures. And slowly, inevitably, she reclaims what was hers. At the company retreat, Karen's strategy deepened. While Sophie flaunted charm and confidence, Karen quietly gathered more evidence. Emails, memos, and drafts showing the truth. Sophie made a misstep in a group exercise, misrepresenting numbers to management. Karen resisted the urge to expose her immediately. Timing, she knew, was everything. By retreat's end, Karen had consolidated her advantage, feeling unstoppable. Sophie, sensing the shift, attempted friendly gestures, forced smiles, and empty advice. Karen accepted politely, dropping subtle hints to editors and colleagues, showcasing the overlooked work that was hers. Each hint made Sophie flinch, her confidence waning. The office dynamics shifted subtly but unmistakably. Karen's reputation grew, Sophie's diminished. The annual Project Excellence Award offered the perfect culmination. Sophie, confident and boastful, believed victory was assured. Karen, quietly nominated, meticulously prepared. On award night, Sophie strode onto the stage, unaware of Karen's strategic readiness. When Karen was called, she presented flawlessly, weaving undeniable evidence of her contributions while subtly exposing Sophie's exaggerations. Murmurs turned to nods, then applause as Sophie's carefully maintained mask finally cracked. The underdog had risen. Even after the awards, Sophie attempted excuses, apologies, and revisions of history. Karen listened calmly, letting truth speak louder than words. Her recognition came from colleagues, interns, and management. Sophie's influence waned. Karen's grew. Respect replaced envy, competence eclipsed charm, and the underdog had become a quiet, undeniable force. Weeks passed and Karen's position solidified. She mentored new hires, built strong collaborations, and strengthened workplace culture with integrity. Sophie's attempts to reclaim dominance failed. She offered a final apology, quietly delivered insincere, which Karen acknowledged politely, with no praise or gloating. Actions, Karen knew, spoke louder than words. Karen's growth was profound. The betrayal she suffered sharpened her mind, honed her patience, and strengthened her resolve. Revenge, she realized, is not cruelty. It is reclaiming power, asserting worth, and proving that being underestimated is not a weakness, but an advantage. Sophie became a cautionary tale, a testament to the consequences of envy and deceit. Karen became unstoppable. And here's the truth I want you to take from this. Betrayal doesn't have to destroy you. Sometimes it can teach you patience, sharpen your strategy, and build resilience. You may be underestimated, overshadowed, or dismissed, but like Karen, you can rise above, reclaim your power, and achieve quiet triumphs that leave no doubt. Remember, the strongest victories are often invisible at first. Months later, Karen sat in her apartment reflecting on the journey. Sophie's shadow no longer haunted her. The office thrived, relationships were healthy, and confidence was unshakable. Karen's triumph was not in defeating Sophie, but in refusing to let betrayal define her. She had grown, strengthened, and transformed adversity into power. She opened her laptop, drafting the next project, smiling at the future. Betrayal had tested her, but it had also forged her into someone unshakable. Karen had won, not because she destroyed Sophie, but because she refused to let deceit steal her dignity. So, remember this. When life challenges you, when trust is broken, when betrayal threatens to define you, rise, reclaim your voice, build your strength quietly. Success, integrity, and resilience are the most devastating forms of revenge. Like Karen, let your triumph be your answer. Live well, thrive, and become unstoppable. Ever trusted a friend only to realize they were using you? What started as a college friendship between Karen and Sophie, late-night essays, shared secrets, and dreams of success, slowly twisted into manipulation, jealousy, and betrayal. Years of closeness unraveled in subtle ways, exposing the sharp truth behind a smiling facade. This story follows Karen, a brilliant, diligent friend who spent years supporting Sophie's ambitions while being undermined, overlooked, and underestimated. The moment of reckoning didn't come with confrontation. It came with patience, strategy, and undeniable proof. What Karen did next shifted the balance of power forever. Friendships were never the same. And the one who thought she could win with charm didn't see the quiet storm coming. Ever trusted a friend only to realize they were using you? What started as a college friendship between Karen and Sophie, late-night essays, shared secrets, and dreams of success, slowly twisted into manipulation, jealousy, and betrayal. Years of closeness unraveled in subtle ways, exposing the sharp truth behind a smiling facade. This story follows Karen, a brilliant, diligent friend who spent years supporting Sophie's ambitions while being undermined, overlooked, and underestimated. The moment of reckoning didn't come with confrontation, it came with patience, strategy, and undeniable proof. What Karen did next shifted the balance of power forever. Friendships were never the same, and the one who thought she could win with charm didn't see the quiet storm coming. This is a story about the sting of betrayal from someone you trusted, friendship turned toxic, quiet strategy and calculated revenge, the strength of patience and consistency, rising above manipulation and proving your worth. If you've ever been betrayed, underestimated, or used by someone close, this story will stay with you. Join the conversation. Would you confront a friend or quietly reclaim your power? Subscribe for more suspenseful, real-life inspired stories. Like if you love gripping tales of betrayal and revenge. Turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Subscribe for more suspenseful, real-life inspired stories. Like if you love gripping tales of betrayal and revenge. Turn on notifications so you never miss a story.